All right, buckle up, everybody, because we're going deep today. Deep into the Japanese mafia.
Wow.
Specifically, the Tanaka clan.
You know, I love this. Like, Tokyo's always fascinating to me.
It's so vibrant and
Right, and to think about this whole other world operating
underneath it all, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking a web of power,
Yeah.
loyalty, danger,
Mm-hmm.
all headed up by this guy, Hiroshi Tanaka.
Hiroshi Tanaka.
Yeah, and we've got these intel reports, firsthand accounts
Right.
that read like a spy thriller, honestly.
I bet.
So this is your crash course
Okay.
into Tokyo's underworld.
I'm ready.
All right, so what intrigues me about Tanaka is this juxtaposition. He leads this powerful criminal organization,
Right.
but he's got this facade of a normal life, wife, kids.
Yeah, so how do you...
I don't know.
How do you even compartmentalize like that?
That's the thing, right? Like, and all the sources describe him as just unnervingly calm.
Oh, interesting.
Like a strategic mastermind.
Yeah. Values loyalty above all else.
Oh, I bet that's important in that world.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even the fact that he prefers to drive himself everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Like, it speaks volume.
It really does, you know, in psychology.
Yeah.
Kind of control over mundane tasks
Yeah.
often indicates a deeper need for control, right?
I could see that.
Other areas of life.
Yeah.
Maybe this is Tanaka's way of maintaining order
Interesting.
in this world that is inherently chaotic.
Makes you wonder what's going on in his head during those solo drives.
Yeah. Is he strategizing?
Yeah, reflect.
Just enjoying the solitude?
Maybe a little bit of everything.
Probably, but let's not forget about the external pressures.
Right.
You've got this guy, Ryuji Kuroda.
Kuroda.
Head of the rival Kuroda syndicate.
See that name? That just sounds like trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
This guy's ambitious. He's hungry for territory.
Uh-huh.
And he's got his eyes set on Shibuya.
Shibuya. The heart of Tanaka's empire.
Prime real estate, right?
Oh, yeah.
Bustling with businesses, nightlife. Whoever controls that.
Controls the cash flow.
Oh, yeah, serious cash flow. And it's not just about the money.
What else is it about?
Sources say there's a real personality clash here.
Oh, that's always interesting.
Yeah.
Like a classic power struggle.
Right.
With that Japanese twist.
Yeah. Yeah, and they describe this face-off.
Between Tanaka and Kuroda, like this meeting loaded with unspoken threats.
I bet. Lots of posturing.
Totally, yeah.
Less about, like, overt aggression, more about subtle displays of dominance.
Right.
Which is very in line with Japanese culture.
Yeah. So the question is, how did Tanaka get to this level of power?
Right, like where a single glance can send chills down your spine.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
He wasn't always a kingpin, you know.
Right.
Our intel suggests he started small time.
Interesting.
Driven by ambition and a fierce loyalty to his own. Makes you wonder where that comes from.
Well, and that's where things get interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
So Tanaka's backstory, it reveals this really important relationship with this guy named Takashi.
Takashi.
Yeah, a former soldier who becomes his right-hand man.
Oh, wow.
Pivotal to his ascent, their bond forms in those early days.
I bet.
Forged in the crucible of the underworld.
Gotta have someone you trust.
Yeah, so Takashi, he's like the epitome of unwavering loyalty.
Like, take a bullet for you kind of guy.
Absolutely, which makes what happens next even more shocking.
Oh, no.
There's this creeping suspicion that Kaido, another one of Tanaka's trusted guys, might be playing a very dangerous double game.
Oh, no.
Maybe colluding with the Kuroda syndicate.
So, betrayer from within.
And this betrayal, if true,
Yeah.
it wouldn't just be a personal blow to Tanaka. No. It shakes the very foundation of the Tanaka clan.
You know, because in Japanese culture, betrayal, the concept of Hiragiri, it carries immense weight. It's a violation of the group's harmony, a stain on its honor.
You can almost feel the tension rising.
Like that.
As Takashi, always the loyal soldier, starts to uncover evidence of Kaido's treachery.
Oh, no.
Like a shadow falling over the Tanaka clan, you know.
I see it.
A sense of unease.
Yeah, that something's deeply wrong.
Yeah, deeply wrong. And this sets the stage for a confrontation.
Oh, here we go.
A clash that could determine the fate of the Tanaka clan.
Wow, so...
Will Tanaka choose mercy?
Or will he uphold the unforgiving code of the underworld?
Right.
The implications far-reaching, not just for Kaido, but...
for everyone.
The balance of power in Tokyo's underworld.
Is a big...
Big stuff.
Yeah. So we've got this threat of betrayal looming, And it's unsettling anywhere, but especially in a group like the Tanaka clan where loyalty is everything. How do you think Tanaka's handling this internally?
Well, sources suggest he's maintaining that same calm demeanor on the surface. Like, that air of control we were talking about, but underneath. You got to imagine the pressure's immense, right? He's not just dealing with rivals. He's facing the potential unraveling of his organization from within.
It's a Shakespearean tragedy in the making. Ambition, loyalty, betrayal, potential for violence. And Tanaka's at the center, trying to hold it all together. What does the intel say about his response to Kaido's suspected betrayal?
What's interesting, Tanaka doesn't just lash out. He doesn't immediately order a hit on Kaido. Instead, he tasks Takashi with gathering evidence. He wants to be absolutely certain before taking action, which I think suggests a very calculated approach. A leader who gets the importance of evidence, not just suspicion.
Right. Impulsive actions could lead to chaos, even war within the clan.
Exactly. And it's in this investigation that Takashi's skills really shine. He leverages his network, cultivates informants, gathers information discreetly without raising suspicion. Like a delicate dance, But he uncovers a trail of secret meetings, whispered conversations, even financial transactions linking Kaido to the Kuroda Syndicate.
It's like watching a master spy at work, gathering intel, piecing it all together, all under immense pressure. And this points to Kaido's betrayal being very real, very serious.
Oh, absolutely. The evidence Takashi uncovers is damning. It paints a clear picture of Kaido systematically feeding information to the Kuroda Syndicate, undermining Tanaka's operations, putting the entire clan at risk.
This must have been just crushing for Tanaka, someone he trusted so deeply turning against him like that. In such a calculated way. That's a violation on a personal level.
There's no doubt. And it goes beyond the personal, right? In the world of the Yakuza, betrayal, it's seen as a stain on the entire group. It throws their code of honor, their jingi, into question. So Tanaka's facing a crisis that threatens his authority, his legitimacy, the very fabric of his organization.
So what does he do with this bombshell? He has the evidence, knows the depth of the betrayal. How does Tanaka react?
The sources describe a chilling confrontation. Tanaka summons Kaido to his office, a place usually reserved for strategy sessions. But this time, it's a reckoning.
Oh, I can picture it. Tanaka, the stoic leader, sitting in his office, probably surrounded by, symbols of his power, and Kaido walking into this lion's den knowing the game is up. What happens?
Tanaka doesn't yell. He doesn't threaten, at least not outwardly. He presents Kaido with the evidence, just meticulously laying out the case against him. It's like a prosecutor presenting his closing arguments. No room for doubt.
That must have been terrifying for Kaido, facing that kind of cold judgment. Did he try to deny it? Offer excuses? Anything to save himself?
The sources suggest initially, yeah, he tries to deflect. But as the weight of the evidence becomes overwhelming, he crumbles, begs for forgiveness, pleads for a second chance. But Tanaka remains unmoved. The transgression is too great, the violation of trust too profound to be brushed aside.
And that's where you see that inner steel, that ruthlessness that let Tanaka rise to the top. He's not letting emotion cloud his judgment.
He knows a strong leader must be decisive, even when it hurts. And his decision is swift and brutal. He banishes Kaido from the Tanaka clan, strips him of all rank, protection, status.
Wow. Talk about a fall from grace. So Kaido's cast out, left to fend for himself. What does that mean practically? Is he just out of a job, or is there more to it?
In the world of the Yakuza, banishment is a fate worse than death. It's a complete severing of ties, a declaration that the individual is no longer worthy of protection. No resources, no connections, everything that came with being part of the Tanaka clan, it's gone.
Like being dropped in the middle of the ocean without a life raft. Kaido's completely vulnerable, exposed to rivals, enemies, even former allies who might see him as a liability.
Exactly. And it serves as a chilling reminder to anyone within the Tanaka clan. Loyalty is paramount. Betrayal carries a heavy price.
It's a powerful message. But on a deeper level, is there more to it than just maintaining order? Is Tanaka making an example of Kaido? Sending a message not just to his clan, but to the entire underworld?
That's a sharp observation. By publicly punishing Kaido, Tanaka reaffirms his authority, showcases his willingness to uphold the Yakuza code, even when it means sacrificing someone close to him.
So it's not just about Kaido. It's about anyone who might consider betraying Tanaka or even questioning his leadership. A display of power, a way of saying, this is what happens to those who cross me.
Precisely. And it has implications beyond the Tanaka clan. Rival gangs, potential enemies, even those considering aligning themselves with Tanaka, they're all watching. taking note of his decisiveness and commitment to the unwritten rules of their world.
It's a fascinating look into the psychology of power, this balance of loyalty and betrayal in a world where survival depends on making the right moves.
And it leaves us with a lot to ponder. How did Kaido's betrayal impact the dynamics within the Tanaka clan? Did it create fear, or did it ultimately strengthen their loyalty to Tanaka? And how did this display of power influence his standing within the larger criminal underworld of Tokyo?
So Kaido's out there, right, adrift, with this giant target on his back. What happens to someone in that position? Do they try to rebuild, disappear, maybe even seek revenge?
It's tough to say. Kaido's fate, it's uncertain, wrapped up in that same secrecy that surrounds so much of the Yakuza. Some sources suggest he went into hiding, trying to stay one step ahead of, well, anyone who might want him silenced. Others whisper about attempts to join a rival, hoping to find some kind of protection under a new banner.
Imagine the risk, though, right? Joining a rival clan, that's a huge gamble. They could easily see him as a liability, someone whose loyalty is, shaky at best.
Exactly. Trust is hard-earned in this world. Once it's broken, it's nearly impossible to repair. And for Kaido, that broken trust, it becomes this weight he carries, shaping everything he does from this point on.
It's a harsh reminder that actions have consequences in this world. But shifting back to Tanaka, how did all this impact him? His leadership? Did this test of loyalty change the dynamics within the Tanaka clan?
Well, the sources offer some interesting insights. While Tanaka's quick, decisive action solidified his authority, it also created a kind of an unease within the clan. Imagine the whispers, the side glances, the unspoken questions. If someone as close as Kaido could betray Tanaka, who else might be harboring secret alliances, hidden motives?
It's like this crack in the foundation, a seed of doubt that could really grow if it's not addressed. How did Tanaka handle this? Did he become more guarded, more suspicious of everyone?
From what we can tell, it seems Tanaka embraced a strategy of, controlled paranoia. He didn't lash out, didn't start a reign of terror or anything, but he became more cautious, more meticulous. He relied more heavily on Takashi, his trusted lieutenant, delegated key responsibilities, demanded even greater loyalty from his inner circle.
Like tightening the reins, but not so much that it chokes the organization, right?
Yeah. Right. He needed to maintain control without stifling the ambition, the initiative that drives a successful criminal enterprise, we should say.
And this balancing act, projecting strength while acknowledging some vulnerability, it speaks to Tanaka's cunning as a leader.
Absolutely. He understood that real power isn't just brute force, it's cultivating loyalty, inspiring a healthy dose of fear, and always staying a step ahead of your enemies, both inside and outside the clan.
This whole deep dive has been like peeling back layers of an onion. Started with this peek into the Japanese mafia, but we've landed at exploring human nature, the balance of power, that push and pull of loyalty and betrayal.
It's a reminder that even in the, shall we say, darkest corners of society, the same human dramas are playing out. Ambition versus morality, trust tested by temptation, the struggle for control when the stakes are incredibly high.
And it leaves us with some really thought-provoking questions. Can a leader truly trust anyone when betrayal could be around any corner? What price is too high to pay for loyalty? And how do we, as listeners, navigate those same complexities in our own lives?
I mean, these are questions that have echoed through history, right? From ancient kings to modern-day dramas playing out in boardrooms and political arenas. We may never have definitive answers, but exploring these themes, grappling with the moral dilemmas, it lets us understand ourselves and the world a little better.
Yeah, it's about looking beyond the surface, digging into the complexities, realizing that even in the most seemingly foreign worlds, there are echoes of our own experiences, our own struggles, our own capacity for both, great good and profound darkness. So next time you're caught up in the headlines or lost in a good book, remember to take that deep dive. Look for the hidden motives, the tensions, the echoes of history shaping everything around us. You might be surprised by what you find. Until next time, keep diving deep.